YouTube! What's going on? It's Flag1122 back again, except this time I'm on this new channel, SynthPop Review. It's very exciting. My buddy and I got together, got to talking about, hey, a lot of people like this kind of music, and if they don't, they're missing out. We're going to be dealing with electronic music from the 80s and early 90s, all the stuff that you may have forgotten about, put it up on the top shelf, it's collected dust. We're going to get it off the top of the shelf, we're going to dust it off, and we're going to talk about it. It's a review channel, and my buddy's been uploading a really high quality classic videos from the time period. It's got some Depeche Mode stuff on there, some new Depeche Mode, Pet Shop Boys videos, really high quality stuff. He's doing awesome there. But we got talking about it. There's not a lot of channels that are dedicated to music like this, and we just are passionate about this music. We just absolutely adore it, and we talk about it with each other, and we talk about it with our other friends. And we thought we would just get on YouTube and start making videos and reviews and sharing the music a little bit and give back, because this genre and these creative artists have given so much to us throughout the years. It's meant so much to our lives that we thought it's high time that we give back to the community. And we got together and thought, well, where's the perfect place to start? And we were chatting, and I said, well, let's do 2 reviews from bands who really probably meant the most to us separately. And I chose Erasure, and I'm wearing an Erasure shirt today. I don't know if you can see that. It's very geeky of me. And he chose Depeche Mode, and we chose to do their first LP releases, their freshman releases from each group. And so I'm doing Erasure, and that means I'm doing Erasure's Wonderland. And there's the, this is the CD version, and there's the front of it. It's really kind of a mystical cover right there, with a little kind of creepy girl up the front there, and this little almost Boy Scout offering up a sword to what looks like a melted moon, or melting moon. And this was released in May of 1986. It was the first release. And a little bit of history about Erasure as a band. Erasure formed when Vince Clarke, who, if you're not familiar with Vince Clarke and Depeche Mode, he was one of the founding members of Depeche Mode. A lot of people say he was the leader of Depeche Mode, and they would probably be right, because really he just kind of whipped that group into a big successful stew. But after their first album, Speak and Spell, Vince Clarke left Depeche Mode, so he started this really popular band, Depeche Mode, and really he left before Speak and Spell was released as a physical CD. But you know, he abandons Depeche Mode because things weren't really going his way in the band. He wasn't liking how the band was being presented, and maybe the commercial aspect of it. I don't really know what was in his head at the time, but it seems like the man had a plan. So ditches Depeche Mode, the rest of the Mode boys, and goes out on his own, does little one-off projects for a while, and eventually he gets with Alison Moyet and forms Yazoo, the absolutely wonderful group Yazoo. And Alison Moyet, if you haven't heard any Yazoo songs, please listen to them, because she's got a booming vocal presence, and they're just beautiful songs. And his haunting synth riffs in the background just make it fantastic music. We're definitely going to be reviewing Yazoo in the future, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, he lasts a little while with Yazoo, but the two of them, Alison Moyet and Vince Clarke, don't really chime together, so Yazoo splits. So it's been 2 successful groups that Vince Clarke's been responsible for starting, and he gets rid of both of them. So he's off on his own again, does few other little one-off projects, doesn't really find any success there, so he's like, well, I need somebody more permanent. I need to start another little group. And he puts an advert in the Melody Maker magazine in the UK for a singer, for a vocalist. And they interview people, a lot of people come in, and some people have a certain type of voice, some people sound really too sugary sweet, and some people have really rough voices, and it just didn't seem to jive with what he was looking for. But then on one of the last days of the auditions, this young lad named Andy Bell comes into the auditions, and he just kind of blows them all away, and it was exactly what Vince was looking for. And I think he was very curious by Andy's personality right from the get-go, and he's like, well, this might be the kind of person that I need, a bombastic frontman, to be in this new group, Erasure. So they get together, and almost immediately in 1985 they start recording Wonderland. And I know Vince had already written a lot of the songs for this album when they got together, so they started producing Wonderland with the famous producer Flood. And Flood's worked with a lot of other bands like New Order, Depeche Mode. They get together and start recording in 1985. They churn the CD out in 1986, and right away it's met with really limited success. And that must have been really scary for Vince Clarke, because look, he had Depeche Mode, and Depeche Mode is really successful. He leaves. He had Yazoo. Yazoo is really successful. He leaves. So, you know, you would think third time's a charm, but not necessarily, although it was later, we all know that. But, you know, they don't let it get their spirits down. What they do is really brilliant. They decide, well, we don't have immediate success. It had 3 singles from it, and not one of the 3 singles hit the top 40 chart in the UK. The 3 lead-in singles were Who Needs Love Like That, which is the first track on the CD, and Ola More and Heavenly Action. So there's 3 singles, none of them charted in the top 40. So what they decided to do is Vince is, he's not crestfallen. He's like, what we're going to do is we're going to get out on the university circuit and start playing little festivals and try to introduce people to our music that way. I mean, he was already a known name. I mean, people knew Vince Clarke, so he had that going for him. And I think it's probably a little bit disappointing for Andy Bell, because he was already a fan of Vince Clarke, and he was like, well, maybe I'm the curse. You know, he's been successful in everything he's done, but as soon as we got together, it seems like we're not meeting much success. But I think Vince is kind of like, well, you know, let's go try this out. Let's keep soldiering along, and let's see if we can pick up some fans. And they did. They went around the university circuits. They played little festivals here, little festivals there, and you know, slowly but surely, they began to form a following. And eventually, you know, 30+ years down the line, we know that Erasure stood the test of time. But getting back to, that's just a little tiny history of Erasure. This is the edition that I have has 12 tracks on it. Of course, it's got the singles, Who Needs Love Like That, the first track, and Ola More, which is the 10th track, and Heavenly Action, which is the 5th track. It's also, this edition has 2 extra tracks on it. Who Needs Love Like That, Love Like That mix version, which is 6 minutes and 8 seconds, and the remix version of Ola More, which is really kind of a nice, kind of jazzy melodic remix. It's called the Funky Sisters remix. It's a great title for a remix, and that's 7 minutes 12 seconds on that one, so that's pretty long. The album without the remixes is about it's about 50 minutes long, so it's not a very long, you know, record. Erasure has never been really known for creating really long songs, although they had an album in the 90s, self-titled album called Erasure, that had some really long tracks on it. For me, I mean, this is just the start of something brilliant. I mean, Erasure is one of my all-time favorites. If I had to choose my favorite off of this release right here, I would probably choose Heavenly Action. I just love that song. Number one, the video is amazing. I'll try to post a down link to the video so you can watch it. And this was, you know, when they first started making videos, music videos, and you got Andy Bell and Vince Clarke dressed up like outer space sort of cosmonauts, and there's these little kids running around in kind of like angel costumes. It's very cheesy, very tongue-in-cheek, but very kind of what you would come to realize and love about Erasure. Also, Ola More is fantastic. It's just a great song. It's got a beautiful sound. Andy Bell's voice is just angelic, you know. Nobody can really sing with passion, pure passion, like Andy Bell. And I've just enjoyed everything he's ever released, his self-titled stuff, all his collaborations. He's just a genius. And Vince Clarke is just an electronic wizard. He can just do anything with synthesizers. You know, the modern stuff, the classic stuff. God, he's just a potions master. He's like the Snape of electronic music, and I really appreciate that about him. And there's really great videos that came out of this. The title track, Who Needs Love Like That, the opening single, is just fantastic. It's sort of like an old Wild West music video, and it's kind of like, kind of flamboyant, you know. You've got Vince Clarke in drag, and Andy Bell in his cowboy costume, you know. And it's just good fun, you know, and it's cheesy. This is not the Erasure album that did it for me, that brought me into Erasure, because when this came out, I was still a pretty young lad, so I didn't discover it this way. The album I Say that came out in '94 was my first real discovery of Erasure. Before that, I bought the singles collection, you know, and so I knew Chains of Love, and then I listened to Chorus after that. But God, I fell in love with them really quick, and they are probably my favorite '80s group of all time. I just love both the guys. I think they're so rad, and they just keep releasing brilliant music. I was lucky enough to go see them live. That's where I got this T-shirt in 2011 in St. Louis, and I was just so happy to see them live, and they're such nice guys, and they continue to just be wonderful, and I hope that they'll be here for a long, long time. So what we're going to do on our new videos, we're going to start making a kind of a review guideline. So out of 5 stars, I'm going to give this one a good solid 3.5. I think this is a really good start for Erasure, and it, you know, the tests of time have shown us that they've been really successful. So it's got some really strong songs in it. Like I said before, Heavenly Action is a beautiful song, and Ola More is it's kind of a classic, you know. It's kind of an anthem of love, really. So, you know, not the highest, you know, position that I can give it, but it's a good start. And then, you know, they soldiered on and became the band that, you know, that is recognized today as one of the classic synth pop duos of the 80s. So you got to give it to them for that. So, you know, I do recommend it. Go check it out. If you're not familiar with the band, this is a nice place to start. This is number 4. This is Senseless, also a really kind of nice up-tempo dancey song. Just wonderful, really. Anyway, that's going to be all for me. Stay tuned for my partner's video. He's going to do Depeche Mode's Speak and Spell, their first LP, so that'll be really exciting. Looking forward to watching that myself. So I hope that you like this new channel. I hope that you stick around. If you like what you see, please subscribe. Please like and leave a comment. We're really curious to hear what you guys and gals have to say about it. We love to talk about this kind of music. We're just really into it. And God, that's all I can say. So again, Erasure, Wonderland. That's all from me. Cheers and out.